So you have an upcoming cruise on the MSC Seashore. I'll be sharing the 12 tips and tricks that I discovered on this ship today on this happy place. Hi friends, and welcome to this happy place. If you're new here, my name is Taylor, and usually on this happy place videos, you would also see my husband Jake, but for my MSC Seashore cruise, I left him at home. So you're just getting me today. Today, I'll be going over the tips and tricks, the hacks, the things that you might want to know if you'll be sailing on the seashore anytime soon. This was my first MSC cruise, so some of these things might be cruise line wide, but it is all new to me. Before I jump into that though, make sure you are subscribed. Next week's video is going to be another Embarkation Day vlog, and you're not gonna wanna miss it. Also, if you want more of this happy place, consider joining our membership community. There you will find behind the scenes posts, exclusive videos, and just more us. And lastly, let me know in the comments when you'll be sailing on the seashore. I can't wait to hear from you. Now, I like to give a little bit of ship info before jumping into the tips and tricks. So let's take a look at the Seashore. She was launched in 2021 and accommodates up to 5,800 guests. It highlights a New York City theme, has 19 decks, of which 12 are guest accessible, and typically sails to the Ocean Key MSC Marine Reserve in the Bahamas. As I said, this was my first sailing with MSC, and I was actually there on a girls trip with my mom. Vlogged the whole thing, so if you haven't watched those vlogs and want a more in-depth look at the ship and the trip itself, you can find all of the vlogs and the playlist linked in the description down below. But with all of that being said, let's just jump right in with tip number 1. I'm gonna start with food. Make sure that you check out the whole marketplace buffet. There are lots of sections that are easy to miss, and though both sides, the starboard and the port side, are similar, you have to also go into the middle where there's a pass-through, or to the back, also a pass-through, to make sure you see everything. This buffet is by far my favorite on any ship I've sailed on, especially the huge breakfast offerings, including the healthy choices, which I've never seen such a large selection, and the unique pastries, of course. I was really impressed and thought breakfast was delicious every single day. And you definitely have to make sure you get a couple slices of pizza at least once during your cruise. It is excellent cruise ship pizza, and it's available pretty much anytime during the day. So it's easy to go up and just grab a slice if you are a little bit hungry. And number 2, sticking with the buffet, let's talk about seating. As I said, this buffet is humongous. It seats up to 1,000 guests, and it can fill up pretty quickly in those prime time dining hours. But don't walk in and say it's full. Just keep walking towards the back, which is aft in the case of the Seashore. It's gonna feel like you're walking for a really long time, but the further back you go, the more seating is going to be available. This is true in the instance of most cruise ship buffets. Most people are gonna walk in and just grab the first seats that they see, but if you want a little bit more privacy, or if it's really, really full in the front, don't be afraid to head towards the back. And on the Seashore, if you head towards the back and then go outside, there's even more outdoor seating. It was a little bit chilly on our cruise since we did sail in January, so that was really empty a lot of the time, but we ate out there for pretty much every meal we had in the buffet, even in the chillier mornings. The windows are high enough that it does sort of block the wind, and it was great. Wonderful sailing views too. Number 3. And if you want to avoid the buffet completely on your port days, the Brooklyn Cafe on Deck 8 does offer some light grab-and-go options that you can just walk in and get without having to wait in lines at the buffet or having to make kind of a hard decision since the buffet is so big. There were just some small pastry options plus juice and coffee. So if you're not a big breakfast person, this may be a really good option for you. I didn't know about it and went in to get a specialty coffee there on the Ocean Key morning. and there was no one in there. It was pretty early, but I was surprised. You could easily fill up a plate and eat in there and be out the door heading to the beach in just a few minutes. And as I said, you can go in and grab your specialty coffees in there, like your lattes or your cappuccinos. Those are included on your drink plans. And that's good if you're not into that mass-produced drip coffee that you're gonna probably have to wait in line for in the buffet. Number 4. Sticking on the coffee train, Venchi Chocolate and Coffee on deck 6 also has your specialty drinks, lattes, cappuccinos, you name it, but these are not included in the drink packages. I had the non-alcoholic drink package and was kind of surprised to find out that my caramel latte was not included in that. But if you're a big coffee fan, it's probably worth spending the few dollars for a coffee there, because it was pretty good. But otherwise, if you want those specialty coffees, just stick with the Brooklyn Cafe. And number 5, if you're looking for that classic cruise soft serve ice cream, you can find it in 2 places. There is a spot around the middle of the buffet, or you can get it outside on deck 18 aft, right by the pool. There will be crew members manning the machines, but they have the standard options and it was super delicious. You gotta get your cruise ship ice cream. It's kind of the law. Number 6, if you're interested in seeing the shows in the Madison Theater, make sure that you make reservations through the app or through the giant touchscreens on board. The reservations did fill up completely for the shows on our sailing, so make sure you book those early. Just do it on the first day. And also, if you're going to the shows, make sure you bring a light jacket. It was freezing in the theater and I actually had to leave, go back to my room, get a sweater because I would have been shivering through the performances. But make sure you get those reservations if you want to see the shows in the theater. Number 7, I always like to mention the smoking sections in these videos to help those that do smoke and to help those that want to avoid the smoke. Most of the outdoor areas on the starboard side of deck 8 is smoking. This is going to include the area around the Infinity Bridge and into the adults only pool area. You can also smoke in the casino. As a non-smoker, I did find this to be a very smoky ship, and I think this is mostly because of the casino's location. It's kind of central, and that smell inundated a lot of the non-smoking areas. Just so you're aware of that. Number 8. I also like to try to find some quieter places that you may be able to go to during the day if you just need to escape the crowds or if you may need to get some work done. Le Cabaret Rouge and Uptown Lounge were empty during the daytime and there was lots of comfy seating. I even saw someone sleeping in the Le Cabaret Rouge on one of our port days. If you're looking for an area outside, deck 19 starboard before the top 19 has loungers and access to hot tubs, but it's away from more of the main activities. I saw it on a port day, but there was no one up there, so I can imagine that even on a sea day, it's probably not quite as busy as those areas around the pools, which were absolutely packed. Number 9, for the ladies watching or the men that might like some breezier bottoms, be aware and careful on the Infinity Bridge, on the Bridge of Sighs, and the Crystal Atrium stairs. They're glass, so it is pretty easy to see upskirts. Just be aware. And number 10, let's move on to talking about the staterooms. Make sure that you pull the door closed behind you completely. I found that they kind of would remain open and unlatched unless I really pulled them or really threw it closed. There were a couple times that I came back to the room and realized that our door wasn't latched at all. I'm not sure if this was just an our room thing or a shipwide thing or a deck 5 thing, but we didn't have any issues, nothing was missing. But, you know, a little bit of peace of mind. Look behind you or when you're in the room, push it closed, pull it closed, and then there are no concerns. And number 11, in our room, the water pressure, specifically for the hot water, was very, very weak. If it was cold, it was really decent, but as soon as you would get it warm to hot, it kind of just sputtered at you. Again, not sure if this was just an us problem, just a deck 5 problem, but if it is the case that it's a ship-wide thing, be prepared if you have long hair and use product to spend some time getting it all out. Even with my very thin hair, it took much longer for me to get the conditioner out. So maybe give yourself a little bit of extra time in the shower. And number 12, there is no dedicated walking track on this ship, but what we saw people doing was using deck 8 and kind of U-turning at the forward sections when you couldn't go any further. It's still really long. I don't know how long, but you could get your steps in doing it that way. Just be prepared that you might have to walk around people and loungers, especially in the adult only area, as it gets busier throughout the day. All right, and I guess that's all bonus. If you're new to this happy place, I always like to throw a bonus tip in at the end because why not? Came here for 12, you get one for free. So with the Seashore and probably with a lot of MSC ships, something that really surprised me was how much of the ship was allocated for the yacht club and the spa. I love views, especially when coming into port in the forward section of a ship. But on the Seashore, on the upper decks, that's completely all of the yacht club. And then on deck 8, it was the spa. It's a bit of a twisty, turby ship with some you can't get there from here areas if you're like me and didn't pay for or can't afford to pay for access to those exclusive locations. So just be prepared for that. And also, remember, there is no deck 17. So you're gonna go deck 16, deck 18. They just skipped the number 17 completely, and this did trip me up probably until day 3 or 4 when I realized, oh, there's no deck 17. It is bad luck in Italian culture, so they just don't put it on the ships, like many ships don't have a deck 13. But on MSC, it's gonna be no deck 17. And there you have it, my 12 plus 1 tips for the MSC Seashore. I hope this has helped you prepare for your next trip on this beautiful ship, and it helps you have a wonderful vacation. If you have found this helpful, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And don't forget to let me know down in the comments when you will be sailing on the Seashore. And subscribe if you haven't. We have so much more cruising and ship content right on the horizon. But until then, that is all from this happy place. Now, go find yours. Bye.